Discovery video 111. I'm looking at a race here at Finger Lakes on a Tuesday. Popular track on a Monday, Tuesday for New Yorkers especially. Good little track for overlays. In this video, I'm going to show you what to do when you got a 4-star preferred race and you have no horse at all with the value odds icon. Okay, I've highlighted the race here. It's a $5,000 non-winners of one something or other. It's a conditional claimer, and I'm going to log into the free area here. Take a look at those Discovery video page, and listing over here under the red arrow is the value odds and overlay preferred races. Let me turn off that Twitter. Hold on a second. Okay, the story with this, with the preferred races, 16 years of research. I've tested and done just your all around solid research, and I came up with a group of races and conditions that I had a much higher than average chance on getting a nice price value odds or overlay winner. And I labeled these races preferred races, and there's a category here. I'm going to go over them with you, and amongst this category there's 3 subcategories that are the best of this group. Okay, first off, you got your starter allowance races. You'll see ALW, the amount, and it has to have the little letter S. Okay, it has to have that little S for it to be a starter allowance. All other allowance races are not preferred. Then you got your non-graded stakes and grade 3 races. Non-graded stakes will have like the name of the stakes and the purse, and grade 3 race will also say G3. Okay, those are preferred. However, grade 1 and grade 2 races are not preferred. Maiden claiming races, highly rated 4 stars, is one of the best of all preferred races. Maiden special weight races, claiming races with a condition. You'll see CLM, the claiming price, and then some kind of numbers and letters to the right of the claiming price. That designates the condition of the claiming race. So these conditional claimers, highly rated, 4 stars, and the race we're looking at in this video is one of those. Then you got your bottom and low level claiming races, 5, around $5,000 to $10,000 claimers at most tracks. Then you got all races run on the turf, no matter whatever else it is. If it's turf, it's 4-star preferred. And then any race run on a main track labeled anything but fast. Alright, so we got ourselves a 4-star preferred race here, but the very next thing I do is look at the value odds horse, and well, there is not a value odds horse in the race. Notice the labeling here, value odds and overlay. What that's saying is, if there is no value odds horse, it could possibly be an overlay. Scratch the 1A, Zippolina. So your Group A horses left over are 3, 1, 4, and then you can throw the 7 in there, let's say, as the moving up into Group A because of the scratch. Okay? Now, whether I'm interested in playing anything in this race is going to depend on the odds there post time. This is the most important thing. Here were those odds, by the way. This is the most important thing. It matters more than anything else. I have to have minimum 10 to 1 or higher, or I'm not interested. Period. That's me. That's how I do it. Um, if you cannot be there, or if you need to bet in advance, uh, in this situation, it would be really hard to have a notation that this horse would be an overlay. So that really doesn't come into effect here. But if you ever did want to place a wager in advance, use the Twin Spires conditional wagering that allows you to require minimum odds on your bet. And I use 10 to 1 minimum odds at 0 minutes to post. Now this blue and yellow pace icon, this is probably the oldest angle of all of my angles, and it dates back to the 1990s. That's how long ago this angle was discovered as something important. And basically what it's saying is that this horse, number 4, Zorita, has the best early and middle pace of all horses in this race. Also, I highlighted the fact that she's got the best turn time rating. Speed around the turn, very important. Some horses can accelerate around that final turn, some cannot as well. I also kind of made a little notation here that it's a 5.5 furlong race. In other words, don't blink your eyes because the race is going to be over before you know it. In these races, 5.5 furlongs, and you got a speed horse, okay? Now look what happened here. The 1A and the 8 were scratched. Both of them go to the lead E7 types. So the two front running horses were scratched out of here. Zorita already had the best early and mid pace, so that's even more of a dominant factor now. Okay, wheeling right back in 11 days. All right, 12 to 1 is the offering here. Is what the fans are offering, and you can see here they bet the 3. All the money went in on the 3 horse, who was 3 to 2 near post time. The 1 was 3 to 1, and Zorita was 12 to 1. So obviously, out of the Group A horses, Zorita was the obvious overlay there, with true odds of 4 to 1. And that's what you look for when you don't have a value odds horse, but you have a 4-star preferred race. Okay, and everything else is the same. You would treat this horse just like you would a value odds horse, as far as the wagering strategies. Well, why they didn't bet this horse. First of all, I do like to cover what the horse has got going, and I also like to research in my head why do I think the betting public did not bet this horse. Because she was 6 to 1 morning line, and she went off it all the way at 12 to 1, and that's after 2 speed horses scratched out, which obviously, if you just look, that obviously is a big help when 2 speed horses are scratched out of the race. Okay? See, now you're building a mental picture of the entire race now, a story. But the reason why I think this horse was not bet is simply that race right there. Her last start, she finished dead last in the 6-horse field. Okay? Previous to that, she threw a couple of third-place efforts in there. And, we're at a $5,000 conditional claimer. There's no world beaters in here. Speed at 5.5 furlongs on any track, pretty much at just about any class level, it's going to get the job done. The dominant speed. Okay? That's just the nature of the game. It's always been that way. A little less of a factor on synthetic surfaces. But but on your conventional dirt tracks, which is like 90% of all tracks, speed is the key. Going short, or even going longer if the horse has got an advantage, in which he or she can conserve energy early and have enough pace to fend them off coming late. But so that answers that. The betting public looks at that and they say, well, she finished dead last 11 days ago. See, I see that as a positive, because horses do not run their worst race every race, and they don't run their best race every race. They run in cycles. Now, I like to see a horse that's got figures that say it can compete with this group of horses today, but is coming off a bad effort. I like to see that personally. The reason why is because I know I'm going to get good odds on that horse, and also the momentum may just possibly shift back in the other direction, and the horse might run a good race today. Because, as you know, horses are erratic, especially at the $5,000 conditional claiming race level. There's no horse should have been bet down to 3-2 in this type of race. And what amazes me is that, and I don't care the class level. I understand that there's a different class level, all right? Really, nobody in here has got any kind of class to speak of. But the 3-horse finished dead last and was in her last start and was made the 3-2 favorite. That makes no sense to me at all. But see, this is the kind of thing I look for. I look for when the betting public makes a mistake. Okay? And they obviously have done that here. Put the bets together. Same strategy as always. $10 to win is what I do for the videos here. You always got to get the win bet in, because you don't want a 12-1 shot and somehow the horse wins and you only had a trifecta ticket and you get nothing. We've all been there, and we don't have to go down that road anymore. Simply by making it a absolute ingrained in your brain win bet first and foremost, and sometimes that might be the only bet. A lot of players only bet to win, and they do just fine. Okay, but if you've got the bankroll to play exotic wagers, always get the win bet down first before you go on to the exotics. Okay, so $10 to win there. Now next in line I have the exacta. I always wheel the exacta. Key horse on top, which would be the 4, and all underneath. If it was a daily double, which it's not, I would also wheel the double. So wheel doubles and wheel exactas. All right, now trifecta as follows. I'm going to key the 4-horse on top all by herself in the first position of the trifecta, and then in the second position of the trifecta I'm going to play 3, 1, 7, 2. What that represents is the rest of the horses in Group A and the top horse in Group B. Remember, we had the scratch of the 1A, so the 7 moves up to be the last horse of Group A. The 2 moves up to be the top horse in Group B. Now, that's leaving out, okay, and then scratch the 8. So what that bet has done is left out the 5 and the 6 from the second position. You have an option here. Now, in this particular race, it didn't matter, but you do have an option that when you only have 5 or 6 other horses in the race, that you can wheel the trifecta, that you can actually throw those other 2 horses in the second position as well. Because I hate leaving 1 or 2 horses out of a position on a bet. So that is an option when you have 5 or 6 other horses running. I mean, if you've got the bankroll to play trifectas, it doesn't cost that much more just to throw the other 2 in there. And then we're going to go all for third. And then if it was a 10-cent super, we would go all for fourth. But oh yeah, it is 10-cent super, all for fourth. And then pick three. Okay, this is the last late pick three, races 7, 8, and 9. So I'm simply going to take Zarita as a single, and I'm going to play the Group A horses in the next two races. Okay, you Group A, and that's and here in the last race, 3, 2, 7, 1, because of the scratch. Those were the Group A horses, and no value odds horses in either one of those races, but it doesn't matter. We got Group A in both of those races, $16 bet on a $1 pick three. Now, the early pace and mid-pace advantage plus the turn time rating tells me this horse can go on or near the lead and accelerate around the final turn, and momentum will be enough to keep her ahead at the wire. And not only was she fending them off late, she pretty much ran away with it. You know, nobody, once you see this right here where she accelerated, where she increased her margin. Okay, that's turn time rating right there. She was accelerating around that turn more so than any of the other horses in the race. So if she was already in the lead and then could accelerate faster around the turn, then she increases her lead. You see? And then, of course, she had enough momentum, and like I said, the race is 5.5 furlongs, so, you blink 2 times and the race is over. And she was 12.5 to 1. Your favorite finished third. And this frequently happens in these 4-star preferred races. So the heavily bet favorite does not win, and many times runs out of the money completely. But $27. I mean, we didn't hit a home run as far as mutuals here, but I mean, it was a perfect storm for an overlay play at 12 to 1. $27 on the Win Mutual, $209 on the Exacta. Okay, I thought that was pretty decent because we had the favorite was out of the Exacta, so the Exacta paid pretty good. Unfortunately, the favorite did run third, so that cheapened our trifecta a bit. Let me show you all the payoffs here. Your $10 win bet returned $135, and then you have that decent Exacta dollar trifecta, $430. 10-cent trifecta, $133.85. $1 pick three, $203.75. Yeah, the strategy that I talked about, singling this one horse with the Group A horses, $203.75. We didn't beat the world up here, but we collected $1,111.57 on the last 3 races at Finger Lakes on a Tuesday. I mean, I consider that a pretty good day, considering what it was. You didn't have much to pick from on this particular, in the wintertime. But, it just goes to show you that it can be had. You just have to know what you're looking for. You have to know how to read the reports. The reports will tell you a story, and you read the complete story of a race in these reports. Apply my simple proven strategies. And the third thing you have to do is also apply some kind of bankroll management to your entire wagering operation. In other words, you set aside X amount of dollars for horse racing, and it's for horse racing only, not money meant to pay bills with. Because if we gamble with bill money, we're going to lose, because it's scared money, and scared money never wins. So you set aside your horse racing money, and that's your bankroll. Now, of that bankroll, you're going to bet a maximum percentage, X percentage of that bankroll maximum in any race that you participate in. And hopefully you're concentrating on the tracks that I play and the 4-star preferred races, etc. Now, I suggest if you want to be almost guaranteed that you will never blow your bank or tap out your bank, stick to the 1% to 2% rule maximum. So, meaning your maximum bet on any given race that you participate in, which, like I said, should be, your 4-star preferred races and such, should be 1 to 2% of your total bankroll. If you stick with that, you will be managing your money correctly. Now, you can adjust the percentage if you feel that you can go higher, 3% to 4%. I mean, you can adjust the percentage there. I'm just telling you that at 1 to 2%, I can almost guarantee you will never blow out your bank. And, we're all horse players, and I've been around a long time, and I blew out, in the early years, I blew out lots of banks. There was no such thing in the beginning, man. Whatever money I had was gone by the end of the week. When I was learning, when I was new to the game. Actually, I did better as a kid who didn't know anything. It almost is like the more you know the more knowledge you have in this sport, the worse off you are. You know why? Because we horse players are basically intelligent people for the most part. We like to overthink situations. We want to believe that there is a complicated strategy that is the holy grail answer. And I spent 16 years proving that I didn't prove anything. It was proven to me through my research that simple does work. You got your handicapping, in which you learn how to read the reports, use them to your advantage as they tell you a story, a complete story. Add your proven wagering strategies. Manage your bankroll. That's your 3-pronged attack if you're looking to make long-term profit as a horse player. And by managing your bankroll, you're able to get from one hit to the next hit. Okay? So as far as the tracks to play, always keep an eye on this page and see where I'm making the videos at. Monday, Tuesday, Turf Paradise is a good track, and Finger Lakes has always been good on Monday, Tuesdays. We got Aqueduct, Churchill now. We're going to have Turfway coming in. Turfway always does well, right? So I'm expecting that. Hawthorne, okay. Calder now is, and we're gonna be at Gulfstream. I'm expecting the usual good returns at Gulfstream starting in a couple days, and then of course Tampa Bay meet starts, and a few days left at Woodbine. We're in a little bit of a transition here, so keep an eye on where I'm making the videos if you want to know where the money's at. Right now, you know your Monday and Tuesday tracks, which one's the obvious that I do here. And then as far as the rest of the tracks, Aqueduct, Turfway, Park, then you got Hawthorne, Calder's Close, and you got Gulfstream starting in a few days, and then Tampa Bay. And so far, nothing from Hollywood. Excuse me. Although, obviously, Monday and Tuesday, Hollywood wasn't running, but Hollywood Park is the only track that we normally do good at, that there hasn't been anything yet, but I do expect Hollywood to kick in. Okay, it always has. Even when they had dirt and then they had the synthetic surface like they do now, Hollywood has always been a good overlay track. So I'm expecting that to kick in gear. So winter time is some great racing, especially down here in Florida. This is where we come alive, with the Gulfstream meet in Tampa Bay. This is our season down here. So I make a lot of money in the wintertime. I probably make as much money in the winter than I do all of the rest of the year. So I mean, this is where all the cornflakes will end up, from December 1st to March 1st, which takes us right into the Triple Crown season, and we do it all over again. The main thing, are we having fun? Are we making a little money? Because that's the goal, all right? That's my goal for all of you. Reduce the pain. We all know what the pain is. Increase your enjoyment of this hobby and make a few bucks. Well, some people make a lot of bucks, but at least, try to shoot for making a small profit or a steadily growing profit. That's more important. That's more impressive. It's a steadily growing profit, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. But if it's heading in the right direction, if we do all three things, handicapping, proven strategies, bankroll management, if we don't do one of those things correctly, we cannot get where we're going. Like I make the analogy with a bicycle. Take the handlebars off the bicycle. It's pretty hard to ride that bicycle now, isn't it? Okay? You're not going to get very far without handlebars. Or take a tire off. You take one part away and the whole thing doesn't work anymore. You see? And that's why these three elements are all equally important. And I must say that horse players are notorious for not giving 1 ounce of thought to bankroll management. This is the secret sauce. If you can add that in with the other two elements, you will be headed in the right direction. You will be happier. You'll be less stressed out because you'll be winning and not losing. And you'll enjoy the sport for what it is. And, don't we want to enjoy the sport? Or are we masochists? Do we enjoy the pain? I don't believe so. Maybe a very small percentage of people. But nobody enjoys the pain. As much as the psychologists would say that gamblers enjoy pain, they enjoy the pain of losing. That's how the psychologists analyze gamblers. Well, let me tell you, we're horse players. We're not like other gamblers. Horse players are a breed amongst all other people. Okay? We're not gamblers. We are gamblers, but we're not quote unquote gambler of whatever nature. Horse players are different from every other type of gambler. Okay? So, let's make that clear. The scientists they're right in some ways, and the psychologists, they're probably right in some circumstances, but my job is to help you along the path of enjoyment and profitability, all right? And my tireless research of a decade and a half has helped me uncover using these reports how to get there. Okay? All right. Good video. I do like the figure of 11-11-57. It's one thing we horse players is superstitious. Whenever I see 111, or I go to the grocery store and it's 111 or 222, because my fat ass likes to eat a lot, sometimes, most of the time, it's closer to 222 at the grocery store. I'm superstitious. I love to see numbers like that. So, and I know it's silly, but hey, it all comes in fun, having fun with the game. So 11-11-57, I consider that luck. We're going to have a good week. We're going to be lucky this week, because luck, hey, that helps too sometimes. All right, thanks a lot for viewing. Good luck with all your bets.